Good morning, dear Dhamma brothers and sisters. It's so good to see you this morning. Especially, so many of you are dressed in red. And red is, of course, a very vibrant color. So when you enter a hall with people wearing red, you can feel the level of energy is quite strong. Yeah, colors affect our mind. And this is something I have learned as a designer, that if you want to influence people, the use of color is a very important element. But today is also good that we have so much red here in order to bring to mind, to bring forward in our mind, to strengthen this quality of the mind. Actually, it is of the mind. This quality we call gratitude. And when we understand this gratitude, we know what it actually is, we can develop an appreciation for it, and we can let it occupy the space in our minds better. Our minds actually is a space. And in this space, many things can come in and go out in this mind. In the mind, we can, of course, have thoughts. This area in our mind, we have a lot of thoughts. So as you come here, to Nalanda Center, we have the thoughts. I want to come. And how do I come? What is the way to come? Do I know how to come? And because I've come here before, you have the thought, I will now turn left, turn right, take this highway, take this road to come here. So those are the thoughts we have that come into our minds. But the thoughts that come into our minds do not stay. Does it stay? Do you think, I will now drink coffee for breakfast and then stay? Coffee. It doesn't stay. So after that, we start thinking about bread for breakfast. Coffee already, I thought about it. Then we have bread, or we have tea, or we have pao, or we can have noodles. So there is a space in our mind that has many visitors. But it is not only thoughts that occupy our mind. It is also emotions and mind states. So I hope right now as you are sitting here, the mind state is one of happiness. And this mind state, we use this word mind very freely. But this mind state, can also connect you with your heart. So you can feel it. Where? Here, around here. But we say it's mind what? Isn't the mind in the brain? This is what we learn in science during school. The mind, is in the brain. Because when we think of something, the brain has electrical signals. So we have to acknowledge that the brain is the engine, the motor of the mind. But it doesn't mean that the mind stays here. There have been people with very little brain. Some people are born, there has been one man born with brain that is only 1 inch thick. Our brain's quite a lot. Some people have a lot of brain. But this man, he was born with only a little bit of brain. In fact, much less than us. Our ordinary, common brain. But he lived a ordinary life, full life. He can still think, he can still learn, he can still go to school, he can still work. So that tells us it's not 100% true that the brain represents the mind. It's only the motor, the engine, but the mind can be everywhere. Yeah, if we cut ourselves, we feel pain. So, which means the mind understands, acknowledges, recognizes the pain in our fingers. Doesn't mean that the mind is always in the brain, but the mind also knows that we are cut. So why am I saying so much about mind and mind states? Because gratitude comes into the space of the mind, this space, when we call it to come. When we understand it. When we have the conditions for it. Which means outside, there must also be the good conditions. Then gratitude can appear in our mind. Inside, there also must be the good conditions. That means there must be understanding. There must be appreciation of what gratitude is. Then we can call it, come into this space. Come into the heart area. Then we feel it. And when we feel it, people can see it in us. We represent this mind state, this emotion, by the actions that we do. If we are angry, people can see our actions, can see the way that we form our words. We talk to people in an angry mind state is different from when we talk to people in a very peaceful, happy, and calm mind state. When we are calm, we talk in a very calm way. When we are angry and disturbed, we talk in a very disturbed and a very unfriendly way to others. So, this is something we have to understand. It comes and goes into the space of our mind. So now, for the purposes of this morning, for the purposes of today, try to call it. It's somewhere inside the mind. Every human being has this state. There are 52 of this. The Buddha taught us. We call it in Pali language, Cetasika. The Buddha taught this 2,600 years ago. There are 52, and out of these 52, we can call gratitude to come into the space of the mind. Of course, there are other mind states like anger and jealousy and all this. But today, we leave these things aside. Today, we concentrate. We want to retain. We want to hold the mind state of gratitude. So, allow me, I've prepared these slides. I hope you can see it quite clearly. I've called this the quality that embraces our heart, gratitude. Because when we have very strong gratitude, it really holds this space, the heart space, the mind space that we have. And then, what does it do to us? I'll also explain that. Why is it good to have gratitude in our mind? Is it really positive? Or does it take us to a very unwholesome place? It is definitely, we know, to have gratitude is a very wholesome experience, a very wholesome state of mind. So, let's see what it is and how it sits in the Buddha's teachings. We are gathered here in Nalanda Center. It is a Buddhist center. So therefore, we practice, we appreciate gratitude from the perspective of the Buddha's teachings. The Buddha said in this sutta, he said, there are two people who are very hard to find in this world. Which two? The one who is first to do a kindness, and the one who is grateful and thankful for a kindness that is done. Not easy to find. Do you think easy to find in this world? One who has a heart open to others, can do kind things easily, without a second thought, without thinking so hard. Shall I do it? If I do it, what happens? Do I get something back if I do this kind action? Yeah, there's a lot of thoughts. But the person who does kindness without thinking twice, without considering what are the reactions, this sort of person is very hard to find. Yeah, with a very easy, and comfortable way of doing kindness to others. So Buddha said, this kind of person is not easy to find. Then there's the other person. The other person is, when you have done kindness to this person calls to mind, calls to heart the mind state of gratitude. So if we have these two people in this world, in our environment, it would be a very wholesome and a very wholesome and a very reassuring. Reassuring means we are not worried. We are very comfortable with these people, that we know. So in this sutta, the Buddha outlines what is gratitude very, very clearly. It's not easy to find people who respond to kind actions with gratitude. So that is the Dullabha Sutta, found in the Anguttara Nikaya. So these mind states that I'm talking about, if we don't have it, it has very strong, is rooted because there is a very strong egoism. We think strongly and we hang on strongly to our sense of self. So you can see in the world nowadays, there is peace, there is prosperity among people, but those people do not recognize that it doesn't come automatically. It is not something that is natural. It has to be achieved. And when it is achieved through hard work, through a lot of effort, people, because of their egoism, they do not see it as something that others have done. Because their sense of self is so great. This is me. You must do it for me. You have to do it for me. Why? Because I am me. Because you are my elders, because you are my parents, because you are my friends, you must do it for me. So because of that way of thinking, there isn't much gratitude. People don't appreciate the effort, the work that you do to make things so comfortable for this person. And this person, because of such strong egoism, develops also self-centeredness. I am the center of the universe. Everybody must do it for me because I'm the center of the universe. That self-centered thinking cuts away, negates, it neutralizes, it makes weak the feeling of gratitude. And there is, of course, selfishness. These things are mine. These are all for me. The selfishness weakens gratitude. So we see the problems of the world. We see the problems of the community, our community. We see the problems of our family. It's because there is very strong egoism, the sense of self, myself, I. This is what I have. On the other hand, as I explained, if you have gratitude, if we develop gratitude, and gratitude is allowed to take the space in our mind, in our heart, there's a lot of appreciation. Wow, thank you so much. You do this small thing for me. Yeah, you put water nearby for me to drink. There's a sense of appreciation. Thank you so much. That leads to also this mind state is related. The state of thankfulness. You thank others very easily. Your heart can open easily. Thank you so much. You have done this. Other people might not do this, but you have done this. So I thank you for it. So these are very wholesome, very warm, very reassuring states of the mind that can come into this mind space, heart space. Yeah, the mind and the heart are related. Yeah, sometimes we think a lot, sometimes we feel things, but they are related. They work together. This heart-mind mechanism. So knowing this is the beginning of looking at why there is not so much sense of gratitude in the world. Because people, human beings, and not just human beings, living beings like animals also, they want to get the most they can get out of their life. They think it belongs to me. I must have this. Especially when you have pets. I used to have a dog, but now I can't have a dog because I stay in a very small space. My dog and my cat behave very differently. My dog, very grateful. My cat, think very carefully. Is he going to give this to me or not? So you can see different animals, living beings as well, they also have the quality of gratitude. The dog always grateful, always want to lick you, always want to thank you. And the cat always thinks, very calculative. When am I going to get my lunch, my dinner? Yeah, but it doesn't mean that, they are not good. It's just the nature of their minds. Yeah, human beings are like that. You can see this. Yeah. And because there is this lack of gratitude, there is no connection with other living beings. When we are grateful, we are connected. Just like, as I said, you have appeared here, you have come here, to listen, to practice gratitude. And for this, I feel thankful, to you. You can sit here and you are very patient to listen to me. There is a sense of happiness in my heart. So, we build the community through this gratitude. I'm close to you because I'm grateful for what you have done. And you, in turn, are grateful for some kind of sharing, some kind of advice. So you are grateful. Therefore, we are a Dhamma community. We share with each other. We open our heart easily to each other. We are not closed. And when we close our hearts to others, we don't see their good side. We don't see their good characteristics. We, in fact, if our hearts are hardened, we look for bad things in other people. They haven't done this. They should do this, but they haven't done it. Therefore, I have the right to criticize them. I have the right to scold them. I have the right to fight with them. So you can see the nature of gratitude is very embracing. That's why I call it embracing. It holds you. It takes you into this heart and mind space. So, how did the Buddha look at this? How did the Buddha explain it? The word for gratitude in Pali is katanyu. And you will see it a lot. The Buddha touched on gratitude in very many places. Although many Buddhists will say, the Buddha doesn't really, bring it up often. if we look at the underlying meaning sometimes, there is, of course, the straightforward description of gratitude. There is also the undercurrent of goodness, of wholesomeness that has to do with gratitude. But the Buddha didn't directly, straightforwardly describe it as that. So, the view from the teachings are, it is a positive mental quality. As I said, it takes the space in your mind that comes from reflecting on the good things. I have this. I have so many things that I should be grateful for. It allows one to reflect on the goodness and contribution of others. So we start to open our hearts to others. We start to embrace them. Come into, my space. You are inviting them to come. Gratitude is inspired by a sense of being truly thankful. So we have many things to be thankful for. One great thing is we don't have earthquakes in this country. Yesterday when I switched on the TV, I was really overwhelmed. I have never seen earthquakes effects like the one that I saw yesterday. People trapped under the buildings. Baby being born while being trapped. Do you know baby was born while the mother was trapped? And still was able to give birth to the baby. We don't have that. When I was teaching, I had students from different parts of the world. They told me that in their life they have experienced bombs falling on them in other parts of the world. They were trying to get away from this violence. And all they can hope for, this student of mine said, was just to pray that no bomb will fall on their house that very night. Just please, no bombs. Let me get through tonight alive. Have you had that kind of thinking? No. So therefore, we must be grateful for this. That we are not in a state of anxiety that a bomb will fall on us to blow us up. And we become pieces because of that bomb. And of course, it will kill us. We are not worried about that. So therefore, it must bring about the sense of gratitude. I am so thankful. I am so happy. I am not subject to those bombs. So when we think about this, gratitude appears, and because of that gratitude, there is a sense of peace. There's a sense of happiness, thankfulness in our hearts. Sometimes people think, look, compared to those people in other countries, they have this, they have that. Yes, it's true. There are countries that are more developed. But it doesn't mean that they are more comfortable and more happy than us. I've been to big cities, where they are very, they have so many things. But it doesn't mean that they also have peace of mind. In some countries that are so developed, they have a lot of mental problems. They are not happy. They are then, you can trace the cause of this unhappiness to the fact that they are not thankful. We have health. We can come here today, because of our health. We can stand up, we can walk, we can drive, we can take the transport to come here. It's a reason to be thankful. We can breathe. Our heart is beating. Our mind knows where to go. We have to be thankful for that. Then, who is it that we must be thankful for? Yeah. Today I can have breakfast. Today I can get up and come to Nalanda Center. Who gave me all these things? So, in some other religions or some other faiths, it's very easy that somebody created us. Yeah, and therefore we must be grateful to that creator. But the Buddha never taught us about a creator. So what did the Buddha teach us then? Yeah, that allows us to have all these things. These comforts, this happiness. The Buddha said, we, in a way, we are responsible for the things that we have. It's not we, me, it's the person, those existences that we had in the past. So we are talking about past existence. Just as your good actions you have done will contribute to a future comfort, a future happiness, then we sense this connection of gratitude from very, very far back, our existence. Because that person that is connected to me has done the good thing, today I can sit here in the aircon, safely, no bombs, to listen to the Dhamma. So therefore, bring up this gratitude in your heart. I have done well. I have done the right thing. I have been born in this country where there is freedom to choose our religion, to choose what we want to practice, what we want to hear and learn. So because of that, develop the gratitude. It's not easy. If you were to be born in Turkey and Syria, what will your mind space be holding right now? What will be in your mind right now? What will be in your heart right now? It will not be comfort. It will not be happiness. So, the very fact that we are here is cause for gratitude. The very fact that we have come to this center to learn the Buddha's teachings is a cause for gratitude. The very fact that our family supports us is a cause for gratitude. The very fact that we have good Dhamma friends is a cause for gratitude. So we have to reflect upon these things. The very fact that we are not fighting with each other all the time, suspicious, cannot trust each other. We don't have that. It's a reason to be grateful to our karma, in fact, what we have done in the past. So, a person, gratitude anchors a person to the circle of existence with others. Because I'm grateful to you, I am connected to you. We share something together. I have seen that in the societies, in the places where there is so much egoism, they cut themselves off from each other. I am I, you are you. We are different. I don't have any gratitude towards you. I don't care about you, and you don't care about me. Those people are very lonely. And because they are very lonely, they have a lot of anxiety in their mind. You can see the connection now. Simple societies, or societies that don't have too many things, too many luxuries, too many things to buy, too many things to want, they can have gratitude to each other. Because their lives are connected to each other. Are you connected to your neighbor? Do you know your neighbors down the street? Do you share food with them? If you do, very good. yeah, you have an opportunity to be grateful to them. There are some people, yeah, and whom even when they stay together as neighbors, they hardly talk to each other. In fact, sometimes I know my friends tell me they quarrel with the neighbor. Why? Yeah, because when they park their car outside of the gate, their car went into the neighbor's straight line of property. Then the neighbor said, "You cannot park 6 inches into this demarcation of my property." How can you be so calculative when you stay so close together? There's no sense of neighborliness. There's no sense of gratitude. Yeah, wait till you stay with a neighbor that plays music until 2 o'clock in the morning, very loud. Yeah, and then you stay with a neighbor that is so quiet. Yeah, then you will be grateful, yeah, to have quiet, respectful, and considerate neighbors. Then there is a sense of gratitude for this. So, as I've said, having gratitude allows a person to enjoy the full blessings of his or her life. You're forever always being happy. Oh, I'm so happy for this. I'm so happy for that. I'm so happy to have good parents. I'm so happy to have good brothers and sisters. I'm so happy to have good friends. The opportunity, the range, of opportunities to be happy is so much more. Rather than you start quarreling with your neighbors about 6 inches parking outside. How can you be happy like that? Then you will be watching for your neighbor parking at your side, and your neighbor will be watching you parking at his side, and you will forever be unhappy with each other. In fact, I've seen neighbors, when they go out, I've heard of them, when they go out on holiday, they say, "Hey, you can park in my space because I'm driving my car out." How about that? That's even better. Yeah, and some people, when they go on holiday, they give their house keys to the neighbor and say, "Every now and then, check on my house. Here are my keys." Do you trust your neighbor in this way? If you do, be grateful. Be happy for such neighbors. Life without doubt has its highs and lows. And this is about personal gratitude. Gratitude to your existence here in this world. We have our highs and our lows. We have good times and we have bad times. But on the whole, take stock. Take a look at what we have. Number one, no bombs, no bullets, no earthquakes. Number two, there's a roof over your head. Number three, the main question after this talk is all over and is, what do I eat for lunch? It's a wonderful question because there are people who are thinking, am I eating lunch? Not just lunch, am I eating dinner tonight? Am I eating at all today? That question does not appear in our minds. The question is, what do we eat now? Shall we go over there? No, I think today, special day. We take the whole family out to have a really good lunch. What a wonderful choice. So, thank yourself. Thank your karma. Thank your wisdom that has contributed to this kind of existence. Then the challenge is to teach ourselves to see more positive than negative. This is why we come here. This is why we study the Buddha's teachings. This is why when we have the Buddha's teachings in times of trouble, in times of problems, in challenging times, the Buddha's teachings will allow us to open up this space, to reach out to other people for help, then be grateful, to be thankful that we have this kind of support for our mind, for our heart, to be able to cross over times that are difficult. Yeah. One of my great teachers, Sakya monk, he comes from the Sakya race. He has come to this center. So he lives in Nepal, but he comes here. He used to come here. He has passed away. He used to come here for medical checkup. So there was one time he had cancer, he had diabetes, he had whatever long list. So we went to see him and he gave a talk. Even he was groggy, he gave a talk. He said, the Buddha's teachings, we sometimes forget about it when our life is comfortable. We don't think about Buddha's teachings. Because we are so comfortable. But when we undergo problems, when we undergo challenges, this is when the Buddha's teachings come in. That's why you study the Buddha's teachings now. You strengthen your mind now. You develop, the qualities of resilience. Resilience means you can take on any hardship. You study it now so that, and you practice now so that when you have difficult times, the teachings will support you. Will protect you even. So this is the purpose of coming here. And we are grateful for this opportunity, this place, the comfort of this place, to be able to study and practice the Buddha's teachings. So, I'd like to share with you this saying. This man is not a Buddhist. He was not a Buddhist. He was a great Roman writer and philosopher. He said, his name Marcus Tullius Cicero. You can see, in short, he is referred to as Cicero. You can see his writings. He said, gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of others. Which means to say, if you have gratitude within you, you can do many, many good things. But if you don't have gratitude, it's hard to do other good things, such as charity, such as service, and all that. So when we have it in our heart, in our mind space, this gratitude, we can very readily reach out and help others. We can very easily be good to others if we have gratitude. Because gratitude is the opening of the door. We are thankful to other people. So, because I am thankful to you, this group, I can do good for this group. This group taught me how to be grateful. So now I do things for you. So that you too can be grateful. And in turn, this group goes and help the other group. So we are in a circle. When we help each other through developing gratitude, you can see the good things that come. The good practices that come from it. And of course, another great teacher, Ajahn Sumedho, said, gratitude is a positive response to life. When we develop Kattanyu, we deliberately bring into our consciousness, that is our mind space. Mind space actually is a space of consciousness. The good things done to us in life. So it's good every now and then, especially today, to think about the good things that have been done to us and who did all these good things. There must be some good things that we can easily recall. In the Western countries, and I've had a chance to live there, work and study, it is not natural or easy for these people to be grateful to their parents. somehow the way that they look at life and they look at the family is very different from Asian mentality. So for them, the parent, the father and the mother are other people. And the other people could be the same as colleagues or friends. Yeah. What I'm trying to say is parents are in the same group as your friends. They don't have extra status in their life. So they can be very far away from their parents. There is no special consideration. But this is not what the Buddha taught us. I will share with you. We share a karmic link with our parents. We didn't simply appear in this world. We came through our parents. And our parents brought us up to this level of our life. We have to consider them. And the good things that they have done. Of course, you might not agree with everything that your parents say or do. But because they have done this for us, we need to be grateful to them. Not just parents, other elders, relatives, whoever it is. We must be grateful to them. And then you will see that sense of belonging. Oh, this person brought me up. We had such a good time in the past. I've learned so much from them. Your heart opens up. Rather than there are people, whenever you mention parents, the heart closes. Of course, I can understand not all parents are perfect. But the karmic link, the karmic relation means that we have to stay at least on a working relationship with them. We must acknowledge them at times such as Chinese New Year or their birthdays or our birthdays. When we have our birthday, we should also celebrate our parents who brought us up, gave us this life. Yeah. But we are not from our parents. Our parents didn't create us. We come through our parents. Yeah. Having all these characteristics, our thinking, our behavior, is ours. But our parents allow us to come into this world. So for that, we have to, as the Venerable Ajahn Sumedho said, we think about the good things that have been done towards us. And in this famous sutta, the Buddha said, reverence, and they are all connected. In the Mangala Sutta, in the suttas of blessing, because people at that time, they want to be blessed. So they think that other people can bless them. The priests, the holy people, please come and bless me. In fact, I've told you this story. In the Mahavihara, once somebody told me this story. There was this man came to the shrine room and he wanted blessing from the monks, but the monks were all busy. So he went to the altar, he took the water and then he blessed himself. He sprinkled on himself. So that made him happy. So we look for blessings from outside. But the Buddha said, no, the most worthwhile blessings come from inside. What do you do to make your life more blessed? So the Buddha said, this is one verse, you practice reverence, humility, contentment, gratitude. Kattanyu. And, of course, timely hearing of the Dhamma. This is the highest blessing. There are altogether 38 of them the Buddha taught us. That we do. We don't wait for something to fall out of the sky to get blessings. Blessings come from our thinking, our actions. Because of the things that we do, we are blessed. And so the Buddha said, if we practice gratitude, we appreciate the people around us and what they have done for us, we will be very happy. We are connected to them. We have this shared existence. So we don't feel lonely. That's one of the things. In big cities, in other parts of the world, there are many people, millions of people, but they feel lonely. Sometimes we are alone by ourselves, especially when you go for meditation retreat. You are the most alone during a meditation retreat. But you don't feel lonely. Yeah. So therefore, it's important, a form of a blessing, the Buddha said, to practice gratitude. And let me share with you science. Yeah, this is from a very famous magazine called Forbes. And it lists here 7 benefits. And this has been studied by Western science, modern science. They have found out that if a person practices gratitude, call to that space of your mind, gratitude, you develop this mind state of gratitude, you will have benefits. It will do you good. You will feel much better because of it. Forbes magazine. Do you know this magazine? It's a business magazine. It tells people about Fortune 500 companies and what to buy, what to sell. But surprisingly enough, they publish an article on gratitude. So which means those business people, very smart, smarter than me, because they make so much money, they understand, mind states. They understand that money is one thing, but happiness is another. So, if I can read from the screen, number 1, gratitude opens the door to more relationships. Western science, not Buddha's teachings. Western science that we respect so much tells us this. Number 2, gratitude improves physical health. You will feel healthier if you are grateful to people. You won't feel cut off. You won't feel lonely. You will have, networks, relationships that makes you feel part of a group. Gratitude improves psychological health. Mentally, you will feel happier and more connected. Gratitude enhances empathy and reduces your aggression. You won't feel angry and violent if you have a lot of gratitude. Grateful people sleep better. If you want to sleep well, you must be grateful to others. Right? Gratitude improves your self-esteem. And gratitude improves your mental strength. So there are so many. There are other articles that I came across. But this one was pretty good. So gratitude to parents, teachers, elders, and friends. This is what we are here to celebrate today. Our elders, our parents, teachers, who have shared with us. Parents who have really, it's not easy. When you become a parent, you will understand. It's not easy to bring up children. When I was young, I thought, the parents must give me all these things. It's my right. They have to do it for me. No, they don't have to do it. In fact, if they don't do so many things, they will enjoy themselves better. Their parents. True or not? But we get happiness from looking after our own children. Because their happiness is our happiness. And this is the key to having more happiness. Because you realize, you recognize somebody is trying to make you happy, you also must make others happy. You also must make others have a comfortable life. Easier life. So this is the connection. And that's why when we come back to this world again and again and again in different lives, the people that we are born with will always follow us in some way. Yeah, just give me a few minutes. Let me share with you this famous. He's a fortune teller. He is a spiritual healer. His name was Edgar Cayce, American. Not just American, he was a staunch Catholic. Yeah. So one day he lost his voice. He's a salesman. So salesmen lose voice is very bad. Then he went to look for doctors. Doctors cannot cure him. Then he, at that time in the 1930s, 40s, went to look for a hypnotist. Somebody said, look for some guy, some person who can hypnotize you, then maybe take you out of your, problem with the voice. So the minute this hypnotist put him in the sleep and hypnotized him, he started talking in a different voice. And he said, I am so and so, and I live in this past. And I was a powerful priest. And using my position or status, he went and harmed other people. That's why he lost the voice. Yeah, he was so powerful. He was not a king, but a priest, religious. So he did some bad things. So he lost the voice. So the funny thing was, when he woke up, the voice came back. When he understood why, this karma. But when he woke up, he cannot remember what he said. Yeah, he went back to being a good Catholic. Yeah. And he also did not believe in rebirth. But when he went into the trance later on, he remembers past birth. So he remembers that he can see other people. They call him the sleeping prophet. He can see the problems and the karma of other people. So when some people did certain things, they have today, during his time, certain illness. So he actually was talking about karma, which he didn't believe as a Catholic. But he explained it, during his trance. So he said, it's very common for people in a circle, that means we know each other, to be born again, connected to each other. So sometimes, your friends might become your family, and your family might become your friends, or your parent, your mother will become your teacher, etc., etc. The link is very, once you make that link, is very, very strong. The karmic link, and husband can become brother, and wife can become sister, or even daughters and sons. Yeah, so there is a lot of interchange. Therefore, there are other beings around us, even today. As you practice gratitude, there are other beings that were your father and your mother, our fathers and our mothers. Not just two, others, many. If you consider the Buddha's teachings. Therefore, you must also be grateful for those that are not of this life, past life. Okay? So to our elders, to our friends even, because friends are very important. Friends have helped us a lot. So when you practice gratitude, practice to everyone who has helped you. Okay? Now, this is the Katanyu Sutta, specially delivered to explain gratitude. So the Buddha said, he talks about integrity. That means a really honest and good person will have the sense of gratitude and thankfulness. So those who don't have integrity, that means they are not respectable people. They don't have gratitude towards others. They cannot see it. They cannot understand why they must be grateful to others. But those who are honest, good people, respectable people, they have gratitude. So it goes on. And this is good for reflection today. The Buddha said, there are these two people who are not easy to repay. Which two? Yeah, and the Buddha especially says, your mother and your father. Even if you were to carry your mother on one shoulder and your father on the other shoulder for 100 years, yeah, one on the right, one on the left, for 100 years, and you look after them, doing everything for them, bathing them, rubbing their limbs, yeah, if they were to go to toilet, yeah, allow them, you would not be able to repay what your parents have given you. This is the Buddha's teaching. He is direct. Yeah, he says clearly, you cannot repay your parents easily. But if you were to establish your mother and father in absolute sort, that means you give them position, you give them treasure, you give them wealth, money, you still cannot repay them. Yeah. Why is that? Mother and father do much for their children. They care for them. They nourish them. They introduce them to this world. So, very special position. But the Buddha said there is one way to repay. If your mother and your father doesn't believe in the truth, in seeing reality, basically in understanding Dhamma, you introduce the Dhamma to them in whatever way you can. One good way of introducing the Dhamma to your parents is to behave very well. Say good things to them, then they get shocked. Why you say such good things? Do good things to them, they also get shocked. Wow, now you're very good. Yeah. You must shock them. If they are not easy to convince, you have to shock them through your good behavior. Yeah. This I've learned from one of my teachers, Venerable Mahinda. Some of you know Venerable Mahinda. He's from Malacca. So when he wanted to become a monk, his parents were not very happy. Then he started to shock them. Yeah, he became so good. In the early morning, he will make breakfast for them. Yeah, in early morning, he will say good morning to them. Yeah, he will take them here, take them there, until they saw that he was so good, they allow him to renounce. So many people say, my parents don't want to listen to the Dhamma. I cannot convince them. I am convinced, but my parents very hard to convince. So you try this tactic. Yeah. You do so much good that they begin to see the good of your training, the good of your practice. Then you tell them, you know why I'm so good now? I'm not sure. Because I practice the Dhamma. Oh, very good, very good. Yeah, I also want to practice. Yeah. So you go in the roundabout way. But you have to try. Yeah, because according to this sutta, the Buddha's teachings, the only way you can repay them is to show them the way to overcome suffering. This is the Buddha's teachings. This is what the Buddha advised us, showed us. Right. Okay. So let us reflect. Yeah. There's something to learn from every challenge and experience in life. Some people say, I've got so many challenges, but it is a way to learn. Yeah. Sometimes the people who understand Dhamma the most are the people who have had a hard life. The people who cannot see the Dhamma are people who don't suffer. If you suffer, you will understand the Buddha's teachings. If you don't suffer, life is too good. In fact, there was one man during my talk, he said, I'm not suffering. Why you talk about suffering? Yeah, he said, I have good health. My parents give me money to study. I'm studying. I can go wherever I want. Yeah. But he didn't understand his parents are suffering to put him overseas in a wonderful place, and he can, come home anytime he wants. He could not see that. So I asked him to come back to see me in 20 years. Yeah, when he gets married, have children, have to pay this, pay that, and then you can tell me about your suffering. Right. Then, you might have not what you want, but you are fortunate to have what you need. This is important. Yeah, we are not starving. Yeah, we are not in danger of being killed. We don't have terrible earthquakes. So that's why we have to reflect on this very fortunate existence, life that we have. Then actually the little things are the big things. Little things means small things you can do for people that actually are big things. Sometimes we don't appreciate the small things that friends do for us. Let me go a little bit further. Yeah, we have talked about family and parents. But sometimes friends do things for us that we take for granted, but it's not easy for them to do. For example, this is an example. You need to go somewhere, and you ask your friend, can you give me a lift? Today my car is in the workshop. And your friends are so busy. They got so many things to do. And yet, they will take you where you want to go. But you think, he just turned up, I get into the car, then he take me there. What's the big deal? It is a big deal. You don't know the big deal. Yeah. So, don't always think that things done for you are small things. Because you do not know the sacrifice of your friends, of your colleagues, of the people in your circle. Then things can change. So if you want to change, you can change. Because why? Yeah, everything is impermanent. The Buddha taught everything is impermanent. So your anger also impermanent. Yeah? Your dissatisfaction, your unhappiness also impermanent. So your unhappiness can change into happiness. The only thing is, do you want to change? Yeah, some people say, I cannot accept this. The Buddha's teachings are very difficult. I cannot be happy in this way. But the whole point is, do you want to work for it? Because Buddha's teachings is not easy to practice. To listen is very easy, but to put it into practice is very difficult. Then, life is a gift if we live it well. That means it's our attitude. It all comes from us. If we choose to be grateful to people, it's our choice. If we choose not to be grateful, it's also our choice. So today we have come here, and we have made a choice. We are going to call into our heart and mind space the quality of gratitude. So let us be grateful for everything. The grateful for, the fact that we have survived COVID. Yeah. When I got COVID, I didn't know whether I was going to survive. There was one day when it was really bad. This is not the new one, it's the old strain. Then I realized, I have been vaccinated twice. Yeah, that was before booster. Then I became very grateful to the government for giving me this vaccination. Yeah, if not, maybe I would have to go to hospital because my oxygen level dropped. So there are many ways we can bring about this gratitude, in our mind, in our heart. So choose, make that choice. Let your mind go there. Develop it. yeah, for today. And you never know where this good mind state, yeah, might take you. Yeah. So with that, I like to end, yeah, with this aspiration. Let us bow to our blessings. That means what we have, where we are today, yeah, and those who bestow, who give this to us. Yeah, thank you very much for your kind attention.